This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Welcome. I'm John Solberg. I'm your host. And this is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. This is a great show coming up at you here today. Well, they're all pretty okay, right? I digress. Do you know that today's show is brought to you by Green Mountain Grills? And for 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene in backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the public game. Their newly redesigned Prime 2.0 grills for 2025, they blend the proven technology of the past and the technology of the future. Did you know Green Mountain Grills is the original innovator of all things Wi-Fi? And they continue to give their users granular options to control their grills in any environment from anywhere. They also lead the pack in accessory creation. They got pizza ovens. They got rotisseries. They've got add-on side burners. Check all this out and more over at greenmountaingrills.com, and make sure you're checking out the new 2.0 Green Mountain Grills while you're there. That's greenmountaingrills.com, and let's just, like always, let Greg do the introductions.
We race over to the hotline, pull up an all-timer as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the show. It's pitmaster of Diva Q, Danielle Bennett. Danielle, how are you, honey?
I'm good, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous, Danielle, and I appreciate you making time for the show tonight. So let's go ahead and break it down. I know when we were talking a little bit earlier through email, this probably wasn't going to be like it, well, at least for part of the segment. It's like we're going back and perhaps reliving a little bit of a nightmare. But I thought, you know what? In a way, it could be a tad cathartic. I mean, you already wrote about it. Why not talk about it out loud? And then we move on from here and it never happens again. But basically what's happened is this past weekend, you were in Monroe, Michigan, and you're doing a barbecue competition.
Yep.
And prior to what we're about to talk about, when you load in and the cook goes overnight, I mean, how was everything unfolding for you up until what we're about to talk about?
Oh, my day was actually unfolding incredibly well. Everything. And you know, other than one Thermapen battery going dead, other than that, everything was going fantastic. The meats were looking excellent. I tweeted a couple pictures of stuff that was coming off and going on, and the ribs were excellent. I don't tweet my pictures of my chicken because I'm pretty protective of it. But overall, the cook was going excellent. I couldn't have asked for a nicer place to barbecue. I mean, this was a first-year contest, and I just want to give props out to the people over in Monroe, Michigan, who did the organizing for this contest. This was an excellent contest site, and I mean cushy, excellent, beautiful location, level sites, individual power, individual water. Just an absolutely, I will go back in a heartbeat no matter what. It was a fantastic place to barbecue, and I love Great Lakes Barbecue Association. I'm big fans of all those folks over there, and I don't get to see them nearly often enough. So it was a great contest, absolutely terrific.
All right, so everything going spectacular. The place is great. Cooking overnight is going great for you, and we get to the first turn-in now. I mean, it just seems to follow suit. I mean, I'm asking pitmasters every single week about chicken and how scores are dropping off. And one week they're this, next week they're that. And to me, as a guy who's never competed and who sees the fact that chicken always seems to be like the least expensive item to get and practice on and become most consistent, and seems to be the Achilles heel of quite a bit of teams, and not necessarily what we're about to talk about as far as you turning it in, getting a bad score this week, and perhaps it wasn't a bad score last week. Something else has gone awry, and it seems to be like the most I've ever heard about it in the last 5 years, or maybe it just has never been as vocalized as it has. And Tuffy Stone started it all the way back like 4 or 5 months ago when he was down in the southern states, when he was DQ'd, and it was basically done on camera. I had Bubba Latimer on last week. He's been DQ'd a couple different times this year already. And you get to go ahead and fall into the DQ portion of all of these pitmasters. So kind of break it down for us. Chicken is the first turn in, as we know, and then ribs and pork, then brisket. So what happened? Where does it kind of go awry for you, and kind of we fall off into this DQ area?
Oh, it was going fine. It was, the chicken was coming off on time. There was absolutely no reason for it not to go in on time. We were an absolutely solid 20 seconds late. We had, unfortunately, 3 different time zones in our camp. And this falls completely 100% on my shoulders. We have an atomic clock that's in the trailer. We have an older one that's outside. We have my BlackBerry. We have Vlad's BlackBerry. And 3 clocks at different times. And I thought I had another 2 minutes to go. And truly, the turning could not have been more than 500 feet from our tent. There was absolutely no excuse to get, and this is where, you absolutely get morbidly embarrassed and disgusted with yourself and angry with yourself, because here you got this gorgeous box of chicken, and we, more often than not, we've been in the top 10 for the past year in chicken. So our chicken scores have been quite good this year. And you got this gorgeous box of chicken. I mean, it's looking good. Everything was going in at the right temperature. The glaze was set perfectly. It was heading to the turn-in box, and I'm in the trailer, and I'm already working on the next section, and I can hear Vlad curse. And I knew something went wrong. And sure enough, I walked outside, and I just saw him walking back with the box, and it was just, the worst moment ever. Ever.
All right, so let's recap. There's 3 different time zones going on. We can play armchair quarterback until, the day is blue or I'm blue in the face, however you want to cliche it out. Yep. So the bottom line is this. You have a clock in the trailer that's atomic clock. You have a clock on your BlackBerry. There's a clock on the table. Would it not make the best sense to take whatever clock devices that you have and then time them up to the turn-in clock?
Oh, here's the thing. I actually had done that. Mike Lake had come over earlier. Oh, I kid you not. There is no excuse for this one whatsoever. You want to talk about Mike Lake. Love that guy. He's so nice. Comes over, brings his clock. I remember he brought it over. I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning. It was 9:01 when I went back to double check. And my whole thing is that there was absolutely no excuse for this. I mean, I could not believe that, a couple little minor adjustments at the end of it, I'm fussing with it a bit because you just want to get every single point you can. It cost me. Those last minute, I should have just closed the damn lid, handed it off, and away it went.
Are you tasting chicken before you turn it in?
Absolutely. I taste every single thing I do. I think it's foolish not to, because at any given time you may have a clump of salt hit a rib or a brisket or a chicken or a pork. You may, unfortunately, maybe you dumped in a little too much onion powder or whatever. I do absolutely positively believe in taste testing every single thing that goes in. Now that doesn't say I actually eat it. Most times I'm spitting it right out. Because I just really don't want to eat it anymore, right. To be perfectly honest, with the exception of brisket. But, I completely take full, absolute 100% responsibility. It was my screw up. It sucks royally. It's painful as hell. And at the end of the day, when we saw our scores, it really did cost us a hell of a lot. Yeah,
I was going to say, so as we look through the rest of the categories, and we won't go through what you thought of them, but you finished 11th in ribs, so just out of the top 10, but then first in pork and then a third in brisket. So when you see those, you would have to figure with how the chicken was going, you were going to be at least perhaps a top 10, perhaps even higher. And, who knows, that I'm going to ask you a terrible question here at the end, but all of that being withheld, Vlad comes back into the trailer. You have 3 other categories to turn in. It's like you've been punched in the face right off of it in a fight, and now you're having to recover. So as a pitmaster, as someone who now has to continue to get boxes ready and get your ribs ready and then your pork ready and your brisket ready, how are you able, if at all, to refocus just on ribs and then continue on down the line for each and every category to get those really good overall scores that you ended up getting?
I'll fathom a guess, but I'm going to let you go find out the answer yourself. I'll guess some other day. How do you do that? Head over to the bbqcentralshow.com. There is a link in this show's notes that will take you to this complete episode. Go check that out. Find out what the diva had to say. The Queen of Q, the diva, And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.